As you're coming in, please let us know where you're streaming from.
Come on in the room.
What did you do for Valentine's Day?
We had a ridiculous Valentine's Day. It was awesome.
An awesome Valentine's Day. Thanks to some friends.
Yes, great people gave
Yeah.
us front row tickets to Boys to Men.
Yes.
We have the
They
greatest church members.
serenaded just us.
Yes, we had the greatest church members in the world. Great
Yes.
partners who sold into our life, Boys and Men's ticket, and we had a dinner and had a great time. It was an
Yes.
awesome time. Awesome. One of them live in Apollo Beach. How about that? We might
How
get him.
about
We
that?
might get him to church in the choir. What y'all think? I think we try to get him to choir. Anyway, praise the Lord. All
You
right.
may have favor.
Oh, you never
Who
know.
knows?
You never know. Oh, what's our topic for tonight, Charmaine?
Okay, so why won't your spouse go to counseling?
Uh-oh.
Why won't your spouse
We don't need no help.
even consider spouse?
We don't need no help. We good.
Counseling?
I ain't gonna talk to nobody. What?
Yeah. So
So-
we have some reasons why spouses, husband or wives, don't want counseling.
One thing to remember is the greatest athletes, greatest professionals in the world have coaches.
That's right.
So coaching is not a bad thing
Mhm.
if it could help you. And if
Right.
you need help, get
Help.
help. So let's jump in, Charmaine.
All right. The first reason why most spouses, husbands or wives, don't want to get counseling is it's too expensive.
Oh, okay.
Insurance won't cover it.
Okay.
You have to pay out of pocket.
Okay.
We just can't afford it. One thing that I love about our church is that we give free spiritual guidance. We don't call it counseling. And if you need something further, we actually have recommendations.
Yeah, we refer you out.
So,
I
yeah,
think the thing you have to understand is it will cost you more not to get help.
absolutely.
So people will say it will cost me to get help, but will it cost you more not to get help? There's so
Right.
many people who end up dying because they didn't go to the doctor because they couldn't afford, they figured I couldn't afford to go to the doctor. But then it costs you more not going to the doctor.
Right,
So oftentimes preventative maintenance is much cheaper than repair.
right. And also, we find money for what we want to spend money
All
on.
day long.
And if it causes you to cut something out of the budget in order to be able to afford counseling, if you really, really need it,
It's valuable.
go get it. It's
Absolutely.
valuable.
It's an investment in your relationship.
Absolutely. Your partner sees therapy as punishment.
That's number two.
Yes. Your partner sees therapy as a
I've
punishment.
heard a lot of men say this, and the reality of it all is it may be punishment. And I'm not saying a bad thing, but the problem, you need to deal with this reality.
Right.
Oftentimes we want to bury it, not talk about it, and act like there's nothing wrong. No, there's something wrong. And if we both feel as if we're right, you need to find a person who can speak to you. I had a conversation this past week, just having a conversation. I said, listen,
Right.
let's reason together. Let's talk this out because I know both of you are smart. But let's talk about this in a reasonable fashion because it's not me against you. We're not trying to compete. We're trying to complete. How can we work together? And if we need help or assistance to navigate through, I'm not a very good mechanic. So I go to a mechanic to fix our cars. That's not a bad thing.
Right.
We need help.
Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to analyze yourself and really dig deep and find the problem within you because neither one of you are 100% right in anything.
Facts.
Everybody has flaws in the situation.
Amen.
So digging deep and figuring out what your flaws are in the situation so that you can make your marriage better is key.
Correct.
So a lot of times it's not even about pointing the finger. It's about digging deep within yourself and figuring out what you need to change about you, making yourself better in order for your marriage to grow.
You know, I thought about that. When a bone is broken, the first thing they do is set it back in place.
That's right.
And to set it hurts.
That's it.
But it's a part of the process of healing. And initially, when you go to get help, it may feel a little uncomfortable or, but it is what it is.
Right. And, when you said that, Jomo, it reminded me of when we were going through something with our daughter, when she first got sick. I had somebody from church tell me, and I was telling them that, she's sick. And they said, when you say that, it makes it sound like you don't have faith for the situation. But this is not, it wasn't a faith fight that I was fighting, because when you have a broken bone, your bone is broke.
Yeah.
It's okay to say my bone is broke. What you don't want to say is my bone is going to continue to be broke.
Correct.
You know, you want to speak life into the situation, but you want to speak truth too.
Correct.
So don't feel like, because a lot of people will make it into a spiritual thing, like, oh, if you had faith in God, then you don't need a counselor, or God can heal. Well, maybe God is bringing you the counselor to help you because you need a mediator.
Correct.
And there's nothing wrong with getting tools from someone else in order to be able to work through or manage problems in your marriage.
If someone's ahead of you in life, they may know something you don't know.
Right. They don't want to tell a stranger their problems. You don't want nobody in your business.
I hear this all the time.
I don't want to know my business.
The sad thing about it, to me, is oftentimes the same problem over and over again.
And
it's just a different
are going to be
name.
in your business if you get a divorce.
Yeah. I mean,
all up in your business.
It's funny. I had a colonoscopy 4 or 6 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you go there, they give you a gown. And me being a little larger than others.
They had an extra long.
Yeah, but it's still not long enough.
Not long enough.
And when they tell you to go put your gown on, you ain't your whole backside out. Okay, and
all your business.
So when you're going to get help, they don't care about how you look, how you dress. Mm-hmm. They're gonna know all your business. The goal is you're trying to get a desired result. Mm-hmm. So the desired result will take some inconvenience.
That's it.
It's gonna take some transparency. That's it. When you go to the doctor, what do they ask you? How much do you weigh? So I realized they don't just ask you, they say, get on the scale. Because some of y'all want to lie about your weight. Nah, get on the scale. Then they say, go get blood work. Because, you're going to say, listen, I've been taking my medicine, my cholesterol's this, my health is this. No, let me see your blood work. Why? Because, see, I can't give you truth without transparency. Right. So for me to get truth to help you, you need to be honest. Right. And oftentimes we want to downplay, minimize, stonewall the truth. But how can you get healthy without transparency?
Right. The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get what?
Get wisdom.
Get understanding.
Get it.
So you want to make sure that you're constantly getting wisdom into your situation. And a lot of times we see things happening in our relationship and we want to ignore it. We want to push it to the side. And we don't want to face it because we don't want conflict, right? And we think if we go to counseling, it's going to bring up things that we don't really want to discuss. But they're going to come out eventually, some way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
So if you don't want to address it, it's going to address you.
All day long. If you don't deal with the issue is coming to bite you.
That's right.
So what you have to do is understand that it's work that we got to put in.
Mm-hmm. All right. Your partner is uncomfortable discussing relationship issues at all. Like they just want to totally avoid relationship issues. Anything that has to do with a conflict, like I just talked about, they don't want to discuss it. They want to totally avoid it.
How about this? I don't understand why people want to avoid some things, but then they want to get naked at night.
Right. Well,
my point
they like the intimacy, but they don't like the emotional part that comes with the conflict.
But the intimacy is intimacy, okay?
Intimacy.
Mm-hmm. Intimacy. So if I want to really walk our relationship out, I have to be transparent. And right now in our marriage series at church, we're talking about transparency.
Right.
Naked and unashamed.
Right.
Speak the truth in love. So you'll never fix what you don't confront. You'll never change what you don't confront. You got to talk about it.
That goes right into the next one. They don't want to be attacked. Because I feel like if you know that you have some fault in whatever the situation is, you feel like you're going to get attacked when you go and seek counsel.
You're afraid that the issue is you.
Right.
So I'm going to avoid going to counseling or spiritual guidance because I don't want to feel as if my spouse is right about me.
Right. And it goes back to what you said. We're not competing with each other. We're completing each other. So if we're not competing, then it's not you won, I won.
It's about truth being flowered.
We both are winning when we
Yeah,
both win. If one of us lost, then both of us lost.
correct. The goal is for us to both get better and improve.
Right. All right. Next one. They're afraid and the therapist will take sides.
Same thing.
So this is real big when it comes to counseling. One spouse may say, "Oh, I want a male." The other one may say, "I want a female," because they feel like, "Oh, well, they'll be able to understand my point of view better. They'll be able to understand my stance better." But at the end of the day, if they're a good mediator, they're going to not pick sides, but figure out
Find
how you
balance.
can, yeah,
How about
how you
this?
can manage the situation.
Do you want a doctor to heal you, or you want a doctor that says what you like?
This is what you want to hear.
Because at the end of the day, whether it's a male doctor or female doctor, I don't care. Fix me.
Right,
I don't care who the
right,
surgeon is.
right,
Are you the best? Are you going to help me? That's all I care about.
right. And a lot of times people don't want to put in the work,
That's
because
the truth.
if a doctor tells you you're overweight and you need to lose weight, well, losing weight is not an easy thing.
No, it's not.
And it's going to take changing habits and changing mindsets, and it's going to be painful because you're going to have hunger pains, right?
I
And
stay
you're not going to be able
hungry
to eat.
every day. I'm hungry every day. I fast a couple
And
days.
guess what? When you get hungry, your body goes to work
What?
healing itself.
Yes.
When the longer you fast, the more your cells can regenerate and heal
You
themselves.
preaching.
But when you eat, when you're constantly eating, then
Mm.
you're making your body have to work on things that it shouldn't be working on in order for you to be able to heal.
You got some daggers in here that coming at you. That be like, I ain't coming for no diet, but no, it's
No,
absolutely true.
it's
You have to.
serious.
You have to.
And it's not easy.
No, but again, change is never easy.
Right. Guess what? They had a bad experience in the past
Now,
with a therapist.
okay, I understand this. My last therapist jacked us up, or jacked my last marriage up, whatever it is. So here's my mentality. You went to a restaurant. You got some bad food. You had food poisoning. Okay. Did you stop eating?
Or did you stop even going out to eat?
No. You just found someone or a restaurant that you got good food.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you had one experience doesn't mean you cancel all experiences.
Right.
You just have to be a better chooser of places, or be more what's the word I want to shoot? It's more discriminate in the places you choose to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't stop.
Right.
The goal is we need to find a solution. There's a solution, but we got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And our relationship is worth finding it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're worried couples therapy is only for relationships that are about to end. So if my relationship isn't about to end, then I don't need
Need it.
therapy, because we can work through this ourselves. Even though we may have been working on it for 2 years, it's not a deal breaker.
You can work through it, but would you prefer to work through it quicker or for it to take longer? I'd rather
Why
get to
suffer?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather figure it out now and get wisdom.
Right.
You know,
Or
one of,
going through trial and error and
yeah,
not being successful.
yeah. I was talking to one of my mentors, and I was talking about a situation Charmaine and I were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, Jomo, remember, a husband must be concerned for the cares of his wife. I said, you know what? Message I received.
Right.
So you have to have someone in your ear can give you wisdom, insight, and direction so that you can make better choices. Because the thing is, if I'm going to get to the same spot anyway, I'd rather get there sooner. In the book of Jonah, Jonah had a job to go to Nineveh. He decided he didn't want to do that. Well, guess what? He suffered. And after he suffered and repented, guess what he had to do? He still had to go back to Nineveh. So there's some things in your marriage that you have to go through. The question is, do you want to suffer the whole time? Or do you just want to get to the next spot? For me, I want to get to the best part of our marriage. And oftentimes, we never get to the best part of our marriage because we allow the seasons of struggle to last longer than need to be. Think about the children of Israel, 40 years in the wilderness. It was a
Right.
12-day journey. It could have been 12 days. They complained and made it 40 years.
That's a good
Don't
analogy.
do that in your marriage. It may be a temporary situation you have to go through. It was a 2-week battle. Don't turn it into 40 years of struggle.
Right, right. And a lot of good counselors will give you tools that you could use in your marriage in order to strengthen it
Correct.
and be able to work through different issues. Even moving forward, it doesn't even have to be that particular issue. You may be going for one thing, but then it helps you in the future with something else.
Absolutely. Get help.
So don't be so prideful about
Mhm.
therapy or counseling that you don't seek help when you need it in your
Come on. You
relationship.
teaching, girl.
Yeah, I want to encourage everyone that's listening to us to join us for our Love on Purpose marriage conference next weekend, the 23rd and 24th,
Yes.
at Love First Christian Center.
Bless your whole life. Bless you.
www.lfcc.tv. Go to events.
We love you. Remember,
Love,
love, laugh, and learn.
learn.
God bless you. Peace.
Good night.